I want to talk a little bit about vowels. I mentioned this in a couple of my other talks. And the idea being that because of how most people start and learn to sing, they're taking their speaking voice and they're making it melodic. Nothing wrong with that. But it has some limitations. And what the common complaint is for folks is that this tightness in the throat and that there's tightness in the back of the tongue. And that a lot of that can be attributed to habits we have from speaking that are perfectly fine when speaking, but when we do them in a sung environment, it introduces strain. Now, in a singing context, the larynx is responsible for pitch. The mouth is responsible for vowels and consonants. That includes the tongue. And so currently, most people, when they sing, they go up and up and up and up. The larynx gets tight and the tongue gets tight and they start to sound squeaky. And bel canto uses registers different, so we kind of ignore those rules because we go to the most extreme state and stay there. Is the really shorthand version of it. But what ends up happening, well, there's a way you can identify that you do this. So pick a vowel, and we usually use O. O because it rings really nice in the head. So we want an O as in holy. Keep the jaw relaxed. Try and keep everything around here as just relaxed and natural as possible. And just go, O, O. And make sure you can reproduce it exactly the same way a few times in a row. Oh, oh. Now, really pay attention to that shape and concentrate really hard on not letting it change or be changed. Oh, 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 oh. As you go up, you'll start to feel a different part of your anatomy pulling a little bit. The strain that you'll feel should be on the pharyngeal wall in the back of your throat, above and around your uvula. And that's the part that needs to move in order to make the pitch. So you still felt some strain, but it wasn't in the tongue. Now, if we start from the middle and go down, oh, 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 you'll start to feel this larynx drop and you'll go down into Patrick Star territory. Everybody does that. And until you learn how to correct it, that's just what you're stuck with. But that's a similar thing. This is shifting down, trying to meet the needs of the larynx getting shorter, and it's actually working counter to its own interests, and it changes the timbre, the quality of the sound. So you try and make it so that the space, so basically rather than letting it pull down, we learn to pull back. There's like a gentle yawn space, like a polite in company yawn, and you kind of keep that position open when you go down. Oh, and it helps to resist that larynx dropping. And this works fine until you get to your extremes. It's still going to distort at the extremes. But this can work for most kinds of singing as far as just determining you do this. And the idea, how you get around it is you do those O exercises on different scales and arpeggios. And then once you're confident with how you can do that on O, do it on A. Do the same thing. Do it on E. Do it on I. Do it on U. And you just do this like you would a gym exercise, just to repeat the movement and get your body used to assuming that position for the vowel. And then when you go back to sing, your body's more used to only moving the parts it should move to make the pitch. And that should help reduce the tension. There's other forms of tension that can come in from probably linguistic habits, things like twang and nasality. But I won't, that's more than I want to get into in this particular talk. I'll make another video about that one. So Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.